See, thanks, Eric. Once again, Eric comes through. That is going to be for this week and next week. We are shooting a pre crawl and a post crawl. So if you see me next week and I have one of these faces, it didn't go as splendid as I thought it fucking would. I was like, but if I have clips and shit, I'm going to share them. So anybody who is coming this weekend, if you have any clips, if you have anything, any media, I want you to send it to me and it'll come on the show. So this is the pre bar crawl show. And then of course next week will be the post bar crawl show
Mhm.
and St. Patty's Day. So I might as well just use this for both of them. So welcome to the Cho Thoughts podcast. Of course, I'm the Big Cho. Lovely Samantha is with me as always. And I apologize that we had some things going on, personal issues on myself, but we're here. I took an hour to answer your questions, and that was a lot. That was a lot. But here it is. The fucking crawl is literally right around the corner. And I swear, like I just was telling Sam, like right before we recorded, like I feel like I don't want to do this, but I mean, like I already committed to the bit. It's here.
Mhm.
Now I have no choice. And I'm like, I think my nerves will be more at peace once I'm there. Like,
Yeah.
because it's been so long since I did this.
I was gonna say I feel that too. Like I'm super excited right now. I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait. This is gonna be so much fun. Like, and then I'm like, but I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go and like everything's gonna be okay at first, and then like the people are gonna come, and my social anxiety is gonna get worse, and I'm gonna be like, do I really want to be here?
Well, that's how I am. Is like I am a social butterfly. Brandy knows that, and this is Brandy's first one. So she like Brandy can kind of like have an RBF,
Mhm.
and then like I'll look at her a couple times, and I'm like, "What's the matter? What's going on?" She'll be like, "No, I'm good." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" And I don't try to be that guy. You know what I mean? But like I can feel when a room shifts for somebody in
Mhm.
a way, and I'm just like, "Hey, you okay?" Like especially Saturday, I'm gonna be like, "You okay?" Because it's
Yeah.
a lot to take in. It's a fucking lot. It's just shenanigans all around. Like,
Well, Saturday, I'm gonna steal your girlfriend. Okay, she's gonna be my girlfriend. She's gonna be my boo for the day. Um, and primarily only because I now have somebody who loves Ghost as much as I do, and is super fucking excited that we got a new papa and a reveal. And
and on top of that, she has your Girl Scout cookies.
that too.
That's
Yes,
it.
Girl Scout cookies, Ghost, St. Patty's. Oh my god, it's gonna be a day.
Right? I'm telling you. So somebody asked me like my first bar crawl, like what made me go to it and whatnot. And I was like, I never knew about it
Mhm.
until like I never knew about the practice day crawl until like I started dating Ashley. And then she was telling me like my family goes down there the week before, and I was like, the fuck? Why? Like what like okay, but for what reasons? Well, they do like a practice, and I was like, this is just Irish people trying to get drunk the week before St. Patty's Day. Just another excuse, especially Yinzers. I get it. And then I was like, whatever. So I'm gonna show out for her and I'm gonna go down there. And I was like, boom. I was fucking just taken back by like, holy shit. Like
Mhm.
there's so much going on the week before St. Patrick's Day. And then I'm like, oh, maybe everybody does this to so they're not out for St. Patty's Day. And yeah, sure. And then I'm like, no, because I've been out once on the weekend of St. Patrick's Day, and I swear I've seen the same people. So, um, if you just want to be an alcoholic in the month of March, that's fine. Congratulations.
Mhm.
I'm nothing against you. But like, it was just a lot to take in. And I remember I wore like didn't wear green. I wore like a white like G unit shirt with green outlet like outline. And I was like, man, this is shit. Like this, it was like I'm taking this in, and then I was way too fucking hammered, like way too bad. Like it's so bad. But I mean, I met a lot of people who I still talk to like now, and like her family, friends of mine,
Mhm.
and now it's like they kind of hear the buzz, like, "Oh man, are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fucking serious." Like,
Hmm.
now I can't back out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because people are like, "Oh, we're starting here at like the bicycle bar, and here we're starting down here at like 12," and I'm like, okay, well, eventually those worlds are gonna mesh into each other. Like you're gonna run
Hmm.
into each other, and it's like, hey! By that time, I hope I'm not one of those drunk people that are like screaming.
At this point, I'm gonna find wherever I can find parking, and then I'm gonna text you and be like, "Where are you?" And if you're like, "I'm, here," I don't care if it's like 6 blocks away. I'm walking. If I find parking, I'm finding parking.
Yeah, that's how I am too. Like, if you go Saturday, one, text me or message me, however, where you are. I'll let you know where I'm at, and I'll also let you know if how close we are to going to the next one,
Hmm.
because you're not supposed to be at these damn things long.
Nope.
And I pray to God somebody has a whistle, because, or they still do the whistle roll, because I don't have no damn whistle no more. I've been out of this game for 5 plus years.
I'll use
So
my phone. I will get an alarm and set it as a whistle
as a
and be like,
whistle, I swear to God, I was like, I will. And I remember there was a point at some of these crawls where we would just walk into these motherfuckers, and I'd hear a whistle, and I'd be like, you gotta be kidding me. It's impossible.
"Hmm."
But then, like, now I'm looking back on it, and from where it was to where me and Ashley kind of developed it, to the break from it, and now going back in there with a whole different mindset, a whole, like, a person whose first time is Saturday. Like,
Hmm.
it's nice to, like, if this is the last one, like, it's nice that I get to experience it with Brandy. So like she gets to see like just one thing I love talking about. Like I miss it, and I'm excited to go back to it. But now with like a better head,
Hmm.
clear head going into it, like you can't have 2 beers at this one and then 2 beers at this one and then 3 shots at the next one. I'm not built like that shit no more. Like I just can't do it. Plus, it's an all day thing. Like it's an
Hmm.
all day fucking thing. And now, especially like in being in like your late 30s, 40s, sleep is key. Like I want to sleep till like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
And let's not forget, okay, because I know I'm one of the weirdos who work on the weekends, okay? But remember, it's also daylight savings, people. We're gonna lose an hour of sleep.
Right. So bro, dragging ass on fucking Sunday. I'm like, well, was it worth it? Was it worth it? But like it's a great thing. I hope whoever makes it can make it out. Um, I mean, I'm slowly starting to see people text me or message me, be like, "Well, if you're really going, then I'll be there Saturday." All right, cool. And then it's like people are like, "I think you're crazy. I think you're nuts." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not. Again, I'm not going into it the same
Hmm.
way I've been." I was like, I'm going to have a good time with my girl, see some friends, see
Hmm.
some family, enjoy the fucking day. Just
Yeah.
enjoy it. Like have some fun. Because if you think about it, like just I believe like our circle or outside circle has not been out about and did anything productive in fucking over 5 years. Since, before COVID, all that. Like
Hmm.
it's so I'm gonna enjoy the fuck out of this. Like I'm really going to. Like I went out for St. Patrick's Day last year because my cousin Stephanie was in town and Tyler was in town. So of course, like his husband, her husband were here. So like our family went out.
Yeah.
So to me, like that doesn't count. But like we went because as a family and just had some fun. This time, now I get to experience this all again for the first time in 5 plus years. So I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy the fuck out of this.
Hmm.
Like, and then I'm thinking to myself, like, now I have this platform. So I'm like, man, here's Sam doing a shot of fucking Jameson. Here's fucking Brandy getting crazy. Like, here's fucking Craig and Jen. I'm like, bro, like I can put it on here and just like,
Hmm.
not when people get, crazy.
Well, yeah, being respectful.
Yeah, of course. I was like, I'm not that person. But like, I'm gonna like if something crazy catches my eye for this show, you fucking right, I'm gonna record it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I know for a fact somebody's gonna record it and send it to me. So I mean, I can't wait to see what we got by
Mm-hmm.
next Monday or Tuesday and be like, that's gonna make the
You
show.
know, I'll be recording shit too, Paul. So
I know, right? Like we're gonna have I feel like this being out there and people coming, they're gonna I'm just gonna it's just gonna be a plethora of shit.
yeah.
And I hope so because the bar crawl is interestingly weird, exciting, fun, and you catch some random shit. Like, um, we went to dinner with Brandy's cousin last week, and he was telling us that like his friend comes down there or an acquaintance of theirs, and he shows up in like a green robe and shit with the whole. I was like, don't make me find him. I'll find him. Like, and what I do, I'll be like, hey, my man.
I was so tempted to buy like a green wig and go all out for this year, but then I was like, if this is it, now I'm stuck with green shit for a while.
Right. Like I contemplated it too. Like, man, do I want beads? Because I used to have like a plethora of beads. Do I want this? And I was like, no. Like
No.
I was like, I just made sure I had like a Kelly green hat, a Kelly green shirt. I think I'm wearing like white or cream fucking yes, I'm wearing white pants, people. Because
I'll be in
fuck it,
green.
right? I was like, I can't find green jeans or fucking anything to save my life, but that'd have been nuts. Or orange. I used to have a pair of orange shorts, but with the way this weather has been flip floppy this week,
It's gonna be cold on Saturday.
correct. First it was rain, then it was snow, then I was like, okay, well it's gonna be like the high is 39. I was like, jeans. And
Yeah.
I got a pair of white jeans from a friend of mine. And like as I was losing weight, I was like, the fuck am I gonna wear white jeans for? Because like you'd wear them in like the summer. Then I was like, the crawl. Like I don't
Yeah.
know what made it come in my head, but I was like, yeah, that's great. And then Brandy's like, you're really gonna wear white?
But you did that at one of the cruels. I remember you did that.
I've worn white khakis. I've yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, or like white undersleeves. Like it's what I'm doing this year. Is like because it's gonna be cold. You know what I mean? And I got like some kind of breathable like long sleeve shirt
Are
because
you gonna wear those earrings that you usually wear? Do you even have them?
what are the ones that change colors?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have them. Damn, you're gonna make me look in my jewelry box. I was like,
I
I
feel
don't
like it's a
think
tradition now. Like
it
I
is.
can't.
It is. I remember speaking of those. The funniest story behind them is, I remember I saw them, and I remember telling Ash, I was like, "We need these. We need these. We need these for the crawl." She's like, "Well, get yourself a pair." And I think it was like I was getting her a pair and myself a pair, and I bought them, and I just ordered two.
Hmm.
Two. No, like 10 boxes of these fucking things showed up. And I was like, what the fuck? What are we gonna do with all these? And I remember we were giving them to people. Like, hey, you want to wear these and whatnot? And it's funny, like we gave them all away, and now I'm like, I'm who would ever
And
have
you're
thought
like,
I'd
fuck.
fucking need these like fucking all these years later? But I was like, I don't know. If I have them, I wonder if I have the batteries. Because
Mm,
you plug into the back of the ear. And
yeah.
I'm like, oh man, damn Sam. No, I don't know. It's been so long. If I find them, I'll wear them.
Yeah.
Like it's like it'd be nice if they just flashed green, but they flash like rainbow colors. But you know where I'm at.
It's true.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I used to always kind of wear something so you know it was me.
Hmm.
Like or so you know like I was with this group or something like that. I remember when we had the like the tongue clicker where you put it.
Yes.
Yeah, that shit was hard. I love that. There was so much shit that we would find and be like, that'd be great for the crawl. That'd be great for the crawl. And then we would buy them and save them. Like I believe there was Ashley's hat that lit up,
Hmm.
and then there was like the clicker, the earrings. so many necklaces and did all kind of
Oh
shit.
God, I still have some of the beads.
Yeah, right. And
Oh
what's
wait, I
funny?
think one of them. Yeah, one of them is right
There you go. There's so much. Like
here.
I'm sure, because like Ashley does watch this. I'm sure if she went through her fucking St. Patty's Day shit, she's probably like, "There's that. What he's talking about. There's that. There's that." Fuck, because there is just so much. Like I was concerned about rain because I ain't gonna want to walk like in the rain.
Not in the rain.
And then I remember there's been crawls where it's like it has like sputtered, been a little rainy, nothing. I don't think really snowy. You
I
know,
don't think we're in for. It's just going to be like a high of 38, and it's going to be chilly. So
yeah,
I think that's
it won't be like I guess today or tomorrow, but we'll see.
afterwards. Though we're supposed to reach like high 70s, guys. Like spring is finally here.
Right, like it crept out a little. We got a taste of it this week, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. That's nice." And I remember telling Brandy, I was like, "If it stays like this, or for some miracle, this shit breaks out on Saturday, like if I feel it in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
because like while I'm getting ready, I'll be like, I'll wear shorts." I was like, everybody knows me. I'll wear fucking shorts.
I
But
mean, I remember a couple of the bar crawls where it was fucking freezing
oh
and
my
windy,
god,
and
yeah, I remember there was a couple, and like we would get halfway because we would park by like Tiki Lounge, and that
Mhm.
was like for myself and Ashley, that was like the middle ground. So she would always go and pay to like she would pay to stay extend it longer. And there were some times where I was like, damn. I'd see her come back and I'd be like, what the hell happened? It's pouring down fucking raining out there, Paul. And I'm like, damn, my bad. My bad. Like I tell her all the time, like, so Ash, my bad. Like, you know, but yeah, like I when I saw how the weather was fluctuating this week, I was like, you're telling me there's a chance. Like, because
Mhm.
I was like, I'll find socks. You can find fucking Irish socks anywhere. And then I
Yeah.
was like, well, I could wear long socks. And then Brandy's like, if you get socks, get me socks. And I'm like, well, nobody's gonna see my feet if I'm wearing jeans.
If you're wearing pants, no one's
If
gonna.
I'm
Yeah.
wearing white jeans, it's like, who the fuck's around here? And then she's like, aren't you worried about them getting dirty or whatever? I was like, I don't care. Like, this
Yeah.
is the thing. For the crow, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm probably gonna wear these fucking jeans once,
Hmm.
you know? And God forbid if they come out wonderful in the laundry, you may see them again. But they're from a friend, so it's just like it was more or less like, what the fuck am I gonna do with these jeans? Who
So you like totally read my mind when it came because the shirt that I'm wearing, like it is like a nice hunter green, right?
okay.
And so I was like, but it is long. So I was like, okay. And I was like, I'm totally wearing this on Saturday. I'm gonna wear it with leggings. I'm gonna put, these awesome St. Patrick's Day like knee-high socks on, and I'm gonna wear my Converse, and it's gonna look super cute, be like really ready to go, right?
Right.
But then when I like actually tried on the outfit this morning, I was like, I could guarantee you somebody is going to have some sort of fantasy of naughty girl because like this shirt is so long and like big on me where it looks like you could do like seductive pictures in it. And I was like, we're not going down that route. No, we got to find something else.
We gotta have a fucking plan B real quick.
All right.
Real quick. I'm like I'm losing daylight. Ah fuck. But like, I don't know. Hey, you could find a guy on the crawl.
That is true. One who isn't drunk, sober.
That I was like, wait a minute. One that's drunk but like has a good head on his shoulders. Like he's just out to have a good time.
Somebody who has like a 401k, please.
Right? Someone who like has a good head on their shoulders, got a decent job, isn't and you have to separate like he's just having fun drunk too. That motherfucker's an alcoholic.
Right?
Right?
Yes. Hey, you
And
know
then it's
what? Throwing it out there. Anybody who meets us on the crawl, if you're bringing someone, okay, and you want to play matchmaker, I'm open. I'm open.
there you go. You heard it here first. I I was like, and people tried and asked me, if Eric was coming.
Mhm.
I saw him over the weekend, and there's no way. Like,
Oh,
just by like,
that broke my heart.
well, his back, and plus he
Yeah.
really don't drink no more. I mean, he like I feel bad for him because I know he'll only walk, he'll walk it, but he'll be in pain. So it's
If
like
I get him like a little wheelchair and I push him around, will
I
he
will
like?
record every fucking instance. Just like, excuse me, can we use the ADA because my friend can't get in? And so, well, can he walk? Well, he can, but he shouldn't.
I can always be like, yo, he's got like spinal issues. He needs to be in the chair. He can't
He
walk.
has like lower back issues. Like, cut him a break, dude. Damn.
Like, I mean, I will push him around. I will talk with him because remember, I don't drink either. So
Right.
we're
Well, that's what
good.
I told him is like, you know, uh, you don't have to go in this with the mindset that we used to. Like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's different now. But he's like, well, and then like his wife was doing this thing, kind of the same thing. Like she would probably wouldn't go that far, and I'm like, I'm saying this to anybody that's going. I don't need you there for 7, 8 hours.
Nope.
I don't need you there for 4.
I mean, you already know that I'm peacing out at some point. So.
That yeah, that's fine. Like I found out that Ashley's mom is going to be over by the bicycle bar, and we're going to be over at like the 12 area. So we're going to meet at some point. And but
Hmm.
she's like, but I have to work that night. I was like, what? Like,
Yeah,
yeah. I was like, well, damn, okay, all right, but
I
you know,
gotta be at work the next day by 7 a.m. So
right. So you know what I mean? It's like it's to your point. You're going to enjoy the time
yep.
because, like, for instance, you don't really have fucking weekends that are just free. You know what I mean? So why not embrace the fact that you're going to the damn thing? You're gonna
Hmm.
enjoy your time. You're not gonna let bullshit get in your way. You're
Nope.
just gonna have a good fucking time.
Yeah.
And then wake up the next morning and be like, man, that shit was fun. But fuck, man, I gotta do this shit again.
I gotta go
Like,
to work.
that's it. Like I get it. So again, it's not like we're in our 20s or 30s where it's like, I need you the whole fucking time. I don't need y'all the whole time.
No.
I actually am very understanding as to I got to get up in the morning. I got to
Hmm.
work. I have to work that night
Yeah.
or something of that sort. I get it. I have to wake up in the morning and go pick up my son. Like
Hmm.
I know I'm not sleeping in. If I sleep in, I'm sleeping until like 8, 9 at the
Hmm.
latest, and then going to get my son to spend the rest of my week with him.
Yeah.
Like it's not, it's really not like it used to be.
Mm.
But it'll be for the
Yeah.
best, sure. But I mean, God, I'm so excited, but also so fucking nervous at the same time because like
No.
I can't wait to see what kind of shit that we get from this at just being out. Like, because I mean, I drive through the south side of Pittsburgh probably once a week, twice a week. And I'll look at things and I knew like the original excuse is closed and that's not
Yeah.
where everybody starts now. They started the bike bar on one side and it's like, of course, I think it's Jack's on the other. But I think uh 12 is 12 Whiskey Barbecue is sponsoring for like where you get your wristbands. And then Archie's on the other side is doing that. And I was like, man, I remember when it used to be just like here and here. And it was that for so long. And then now when I went to go like register, I was like, wait, what? Like, I mean, I knew the excuses thing. I got that part. But I was like, Archie's does got some fire ass wings. But I was like, but if I make it to Archie's, I can have fire ass wings. So I'm like, now it's kind of like a goal. If I can get there, like,
Hmm.
if I can get there, I see wings in the future. So I'm like, all right, cool.
I'm
Like,
only here for the wings.
I'm not here for the wings. I know we're here supposed to be eating pierogies, but fuck that, man. Archie, I don't get a chance to come into this city often. like
Right.
for recreation. So I think I might embrace it a little bit. That brings me to the time that we bought Mike and Tony's gyros for everybody. Yeah. So for those that don't know, one of the crawls, Ashley, my ex, went out and bought a whole bunch of gyros from Mike and Tony's in the south side of Pittsburgh. And there was about 16, maybe less, maybe more. I can't remember. She's the fact checker. But here, I think we only gave out like 5, 3, something like that. So lo and behold, they were in our car. They were in our car the next day. Like, we ended up eating gyros for like 3 days to the point I don't want Mike and Tony's ever again. Like, I am battle
I was
scarred from
gonna
the
ask
crawl.
you, do you think that Mike and Tony still taste the same after all these years?
I don't know. But here's the thing. Like, again, if I'm going out of my way to go back into that city, it has been enough time that I could be like, I bet you a Mike and Tony's gyro slaps right about now. But I've heard that I heard it's not really that great. There's no.
Well, that's because, okay, so like I feel like everything now is changing. So, like, for an example, okay, being diabetic, you have to eat, right? And so last week, my family-based partner had witnessed for the first time like an episode. Like, I didn't eat all day. And I was like, I'll be fine, I'll be fine. And I made it to my session and I was on the phone with my mom and I was just like, it hit instantly. And I know the signs more now, and I
Yeah,
started feeling really cold and really shaky, like okay, in any minute now it felt like, like I was sick, like I had the flu.
yeah,
And so I was just like, oh my God, I'm so cold. And my mom's like, are you okay? And I was like, no, my blood sugar dropped. I was like, that's what's going on. And she was like, well, do you have candy? What's going on? And it's so bad, okay, with how cold and shaky it is that I could sit in my car and blare the heat on top of me and I will still be cold. Like, that's how
yeah,
bad it got.
yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, I got candy in my car. So I keep these Jolly Rancher gummies in my car.
Okay.
And I ate 3 of them and I was like, okay, like we're good. Like it should, but it never rose. And instead, like it kept dropping. So I went to session. I was like, well, if I ate the candy, give it like a half an hour, it'll kick
Yeah,
in, it'll
you
be
should
fine.
be okay.
Yeah. And it never did. And it got to a point that I like left session 15 minutes early because I was like, I gotta go. And it continuously dropped to the point that, Paul, it was dangerously low. I came home and I checked, it was 32. And I was like, that's insane.
It's really bad.
Like it was so bad that like I came home and immediately threw up and was like, something's not, like it's off.
Yeah,
So this is now where I keep orange juice in my car because I don't know if you knew this, but electrolytes, like if you're drinking Gatorade or things of that nature, it can actually fuck with your blood sugar,
yeah,
especially if you have like an electrolyte imbalance. And I didn't know that. And that's what happened. Like it really fucked with my blood sugar and just drastically dropped it. So I told my partner today, I was like, I haven't eaten anything since about 12 noon. It is now 5 o'clock. Like, I really need to get something in my system. Like, we're not about to do another episode. And I was like, unfortunately, the only thing that's nearby is a KFC. So I was like, all right, let me just grab like some chicken or whatnot.
let me get let me let me get a 2-piece and a biscuit for the road.
Right? Like, and it was so bad because like I walk in and there's a line and I'm like, fuck, I've got like 15 minutes before a session.
But of
Thankfully
course
though,
there would be a fucking line, right? That's just how life is.
right? But like thankfully my client was like just a block away, so it wasn't that far of away. But I was like, he's like, can I help you? And I was like, I just need your 2-piece tenders. That's it. Just that. So he's like, okay, cool. So I pay for it. I'm like, 2-piece tenders should be quick, right? 15 minutes. 15 minutes for my 2-piece. And then
Meanwhile,
to
that
make matters
motherfucker was
worse,
sitting there on a heat lamp for like 10.
you know,
Now get it.
right?
Dry the chicken out a little bit.
To make matters worse, Paul, I like take a bite as I'm leaving. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Was
Like,
it dry?
it wasn't dry, but like
Oh,
it
I'd have
didn't
been
have
like,
any
damn, I hit that on the
flavor.
head.
Like it literally tasted like McCormick chicken tenders that you would heat up in a microwave. I was like, Colonel Sanders would be highly disappointed in this shit.
We're like, this ain't fucking the herbs and fucking spices. What is this?
Right?
What is this? You know what? Give me a little mashed potatoes and a biscuit. Let me see if some of that coleslaw. Let me see if it makes it better. Because this shit tastes like an ashtray. This is gross.
I was like, seriously, I'd rather my blood sugar drop next time than eat this shit again.
Right? It's like I'd rather take the risk. Call me crazy, but these is 11 herbs and spices.
I don't even think there was one herb or spice on
Right.
there.
They threw a packet of like imitation. It was like, here you go. Wait, smell that. Man, it kind of smells like it. Give it to her.
So now I kind of feel like with like the economy being so bad, everybody's dipping out on their ingredients and shit. And they're like,
This isn't lamb meat in this gyro. This is just like
sorry guys, we can't afford the lamb anymore.
we can't afford the lamb. You know what this is? This is just like a piece of meat with lamb seasoning. What the hell is lamb seasoning? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
It's like, what is that word called when you look on those little packets of fake crab? It's like crab imitation or like
Yeah, lamb imitation.
you have lamb
Not
imitation.
real lamb. Oh my god.
Now we're fake lamb. Sorry guys, that's all we can afford.
Or if they put it on your gyro, like usually Mike and Tony's gives you like a good bit of lamb. It's like one piece of lamb and it's just stuffed with vegetables and it's like were we doing veggie options here? Like, is this vegan? What is happening here? That's a lot of tzatziki sauce. Like, what the fuck is going on? This was $9. Get the
It won't even
out
be
of here,
12.
right? Oh my god! Like, but no, I've had that happen too. Like, especially with being on the road, and then like with the job being physical, like I'll feel it too. Like I'll feel like cold, even though I'm in a hoodie and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go like, oh no, like I know. I'll just be like, oh no.
Yep.
And then like Brandy's kind of seen it a little bit. Ashley saw it at fucking homecoming and was like, yo, you gotta fucking eat something. I was like,
Yeah.
I just went on about my day. Like
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting, and even though I know, like I do forget because I'm still on the go.
So, yep.
That I just don't think about it, if that makes sense. And then, but now it's got me to a like a smarter, where like work smarter, not harder. So I have like because I'm working, I'll have like an actual sugar Gatorade in the truck.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, if I'm low on electrolytes and I feel my blood sugar dropping, I go right for it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll have like those like the Hershey's like bite size, like the mixed variety.
Yeah.
Like we'll get those from clients and stuff. So I'll grab little handfuls here and there. But then there's times where it's kind of like yours, where it's just like this shit ain't kicking, like nothing's working.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh fuck, maybe I fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe I should have ate something or whatever. So what I do now is if I stop at like a gas station, and particularly like a Sheetz, they have these like they're like PB&J oat round bars. Like,
Oh my God, I've seen those. Yes.
and they're like always 2 for $3. So I get them and I'll grab like perfect lemon, the water drinks.
Yeah.
And I'll get them. And then like I know there's enough sugar in the PB&J oat bar. And then like I know there's lemon juice in the lemon water. I mean, to an extent. But like little bit of sugar, but it kind of just like once I have all that, I'm gone. Like
Yeah.
I'll feel it like, oh shit, okay, all right, that's what it was.
Honestly, like it's so I don't want to use the term, but I'm going to use it. It's amazing, like the difference that you feel.
Oh yeah.
Like it will hit me instantaneously. And I will feel very cold. I will feel very dizzy. I will feel lightheaded. I will constantly shake. Like you will sit there and see, like it's uncontrollable too. Like I can't stop shaking.
Yeah.
And then, and then I'll either throw up or get sick. But then the second that the sugar actually kicks in and you start to feel like automatically, it's like, oh, yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Right. You almost feel like it was like a damn hot flash. It was like, man, how's that?
Right?
Wait, what the fuck? Like when I shake, it's not crazy. Like it's not like this. It's like more of a like very subtle, but I know I'm shaking.
Oh, I
You know what
wish.
I mean?
Mine
Like
is
I'll
so
see it.
noticeable. People think I'm dying.
Right. And then like that day with homecoming, because I was out in the sun and I really didn't eat that day. Before I saw Ashley and Xander, I was shaking. Like my
Hmm.
hand was shaking, shaking. Not to the subtle where I can see it and be like, I need to eat. It was
Yeah.
like it was like, I need to fucking eat. And then like Ashley was like, you don't look good. And I was like I told her, I was like, I don't feel good. Like I
Hmm.
literally told her first, I believe, I was like, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
Like it was just the sun kicked my ass too. So
Yeah.
I mean I know that fucked me up more. But like I remember that day after Ashley and I dropped him off for the homecoming dance. I remember Brandy was here meeting me here and she got me a pizza. And I will put this on the world. I smashed that whole pizza.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that I was killing that pizza.
Hmm.
And then I was like, man, it's gonna fuck everything up. But like I couldn't stop eating it. Like my body needed it.
Yes.
And I was like, there's no sugar, but then there is sugar. It's like, all right. And then by the time like I mean I was chill after like the first two slices. I think it was like three. But like I felt it coming
Hmm.
back around. And then by the time it was like a couple hours later, because like Xander's dances aren't that long. By the time Brandy and I were going to go pick him up, I felt fucking right as rain.
Hmm.
Right as rain. Like I took a bite of a like chocolate nutter butter from Ashley just to kind of settle the
Yeah.
sugar, like settle me for a little bit, and that did fine. So thank you, Ashley. But like that was the only time for the time being. But like I do need to get better at it. Like
I do too. My mom is so worried that she's like, I'm going to get you a medical bracelet for diabetics. And I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm probably not going to wear it. She's like, yes, you are. And I was like, why? Like, and she makes a good point. I hate the fact that she is right, but she was like, if you forget to eat one day and it gets so severe that you do pass out, you know, and
yeah,
they see that you're diabetic, they're more than likely going to treat you with insulin right away than, and sugar than wondering what just happened.
right. Well, see, like that's the crazy thing about parents. Like two opposite ends of the spectrum.
Hmm.
Like today, I talked to my mother and I said, "Listen, my Trulicity shot is usually on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Do you think I should take it a day early because the crawl is on Saturday?" And I was like, "I'd be taking this shot. It'd be in my body maybe 3 hours, and then alcohol's going right in with it. Do you think it'd be better if I took it on Friday, 24 hours for it to circulate through my
Yeah.
body, and then go into the thing?" She was like, "Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely." Whereas my dad was like, "Just don't take it." What?
What? No, Dad.
Yeah, like he just don't take it. Take it on. Then he was like, "Well," I was like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, take it Sunday." I was like, "The alcohol will still be in my body,
Hmm.
in some way, shape, or form." He's like, "Well, I mean, I don't know. You're just maybe just take it and see what happens."
See, like that's why, like for me, that's why I'm going in and just having a beer because with the bar crawl, it's not like you get to sit and eat food and relax and everything else. Like I need food to absorb that alcohol
Yeah,
in order to maintain and manage and balance out, my blood sugar. So if I went in and had like even 3 beers, I'm out. Like my blood sugar will drop.
right.
That will be the end of it.
Well, that's when you eat hearty the morning of.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought about that too. Like again, how do I assess this whole situation?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, maybe I'll eat like a protein filled but somewhat like greasy breakfast, like some kind of like bacon or
Mm-hmm.
sausage, and then go through it. And then, at a certain point, whenever her and Brandy and I are ready to call it quits, it's like, oh, we can get food from here and take it home.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it's like it'll be late night eating, but if, plus, I believe there's like the pretzel shop there.
That's true. I forgot about that.
You can pick off things there. I'm not going to be afraid to be like, hey, I need some mozzarella sticks. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if need be, if I see something and, you know, I feel like I'm more of the like dad now. If I
Yeah.
see somebody like, hey, you want some potato skins or something, bro? You all right? You good? And then that's gonna be me because usually that's how it used to be. We would we go to Fatheads and eat something
Mm-hmm.
really good and really dense. But then there is that middle part where it's like, hey, buddy, like, wait a minute, like,
Yeah.
you know, but that's what I liked about that, like from going from like the bicycle bar end coming in, because by the time you got to the pretzel shop and like Cupcas and all that, you're a little tuned.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, the pretzel shop sounds fire. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, all right. And Ashley's mom, Beth Ann, God bless her, she's like was known for going to the fucking pretzel shop and getting a whole big bag of them and carrying them with her, which that was the best too, because like she literally would have them with her.
Mm-hmm.
And like, but you're right. You can't go into a spot and be like, hey, I need like this smash burger or something real quick. Because by the time you get it, we're gone.
Yep.
And you have to also like, there have been times where I try to get to the bar and I would hear a whistle blowing. And I'd
Yep.
be like, fuck it. Like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And I'd either take the L and meet people at the next one,
Yep.
or I would just say, fuck it and not do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I'm going to be this weekend, where I'm like, if I can get in to get the beer, great. If I can't get it, there is another bar fucking 2 feet away.
Yep.
I mean, I thought about that as well. Like, or even if I can't get served, like, hey, water. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like, something's simple. You
Yeah.
can't, like, I know you're busy, but I just want a water. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because then it'll take them forever because I have the money out or something like that.
Yeah.
And but I'm like, I am going to this completely different. Like, it's so wild. And then, of course, like you said, like, and I have to take my diabetes into accountability too, where it's like, oh, all right, well, I probably shouldn't take this shot. What's in there? Oh, sugar? No.
Mm-mm.
I'm or oh, it's like it's really good. It tastes like blah blah blah. I'm sure it does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it does. I thought to myself, my only exception will be an Irish breakfast because they're always fire.
Oh my God. Yeah. I haven't had one of those in years.
Yeah, right. And I figure, I mean, if any day, this would be the
That
day.
that was my dad's big thing, was because, my dad is Irish, Scots, and God only knows where it's coming from, but it's Finland. He's Finnish. Um, and my mom's side is Irish and Polish, so there's a lot of Irish within my ancestry and everything. And so my dad was really big on it. So he always made this giant Irish breakfast in the morning, and then we had our traditional, red skin potatoes, cabbage, and pork, and corned beef.
Yeah.
Our corned beef with our red potatoes and our cabbage, and it was legit. It was so good up until my dad's farts came. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I was like, mine don't even have to have an average breakfast. He could have water and have farts that'll stink out a fucking entire breakfast. It's so bad. Like, and then what the best part is, see, this is, I'm sorry, listeners, but this is just how my dad is. My dad will have water on a hot day, and all of a sudden, it gives him an excuse to toot his ass. I don't know, but he'll have water. Like he'll have a thing of ice water, and he'll be working outside or whatever, and we'll come in, take a break or whatever. He'll have that and like a little bit of like diet tea, and he'll come outside, and all of a sudden I'll be like, "Brent," I'm like, "What are you doing? Like, what the fuck just happened?" Oh, is that water? The fuck it was. Like it was not water. Like you what are you trying?
I
What?
gotta share this because this is like a typical. It's another fight between my mom and my dad over me that happened today.
Let's fucking go.
Okay, so back in January, being having a master's, going to grad school, there are student loans that are due, right?
Right.
So I have absolutely no problem paying back my student loans. My problem is with a lot of millions of the rest of us, like it's the interest. The interest accumulates and then it gets to a point where you're paying more than what you actually borrowed.
Absolutely.
And so I always go on an income driven repayment plan, like always, because I'm like I can't afford the typical standard repayment, right? And so back in January, and keep in mind, I'm a stickler for keeping like all back papers, emails, any evidence when it comes to my loans, right? So it was like January 17th, I get an email. Now, keep in mind, a whole lot of shit has happened in the last 2 years between the two biggest student loan borrower agencies or
Yeah.
banks. So mine, I used to have a Navient, and Navient shifted back over to Mohalla, whatever, right? And so all my loans were combined with Mohella. And I was like, okay, worked great. I was like, this is perfect. So January 17th, Mohella sends out this email telling me that it's time to recertify my IDR. I was like, great, I'll be on it. So I did it the very next day, but it never went through. And I caught it a few days later because I was like, usually they give me an email saying, hey, like we got it. And I was like, so why didn't you get it? Like, what's going on? So I
Yeah.
go under my account and I realized that it's not there. So I was like, okay, so this is now the 25th of January. So I do my recertification again. This time it goes through, it gets processed. So I get an email stating that they received it. Then the next day it tells me that they received it, everything else. On January 30th, I get notified that not only did they accept my recertification request, but they approved it. And that come March, I will have a new payment plan. So now I'm like, okay, cool. Like, been doing this
Yeah.
for years. I'm ready for it. So this morning I get this email and it says your new payment plan is ready. Like you have to go into the documents and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Right.
I'm excited. I'm like, okay. So I look at it and I was like, oh, okay, this seems like a decent amount. I could do this. Like, no biggie. And then all of a sudden, my email starts blowing up with other emails from Ohio telling me that my IDR was not accepted. It was rejected. And that I now have to owe $821 per month to be able to pay back my student loans because they're putting me on a standard 20-year repayment plan. I'm so utterly confused because I was like, you accepted it. What the fuck do you mean that it's now rejected?
Like what the fuck you just sent me this is hey Samantha, this is what it looks like. Then it was like, hey, hold on, bitch. Listen. Boom. Fold you. Listen.
Right?
You thought, but we gonna get you. We gonna get
So now I'm going underneath my account to find my loans, and
you.
all my underground loans are not coming up. Okay, so all my underground loans are what subsidized. I can never say the word, but I'm sure the rest of you all know what it is. Where I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go ahead and I call Mohala. Okay, and I guess it's going through with a lot of other people because my wait time was 3 hours.
Oh wow. Did you
Yeah,
really wait 3 hours?
I waited 3 hours.
I'd have been like, is there an option for me to leave a message and they call me back? Because there
Like
ain't no
that was an
fucking
option.
way. I got shit to do.
That was an option, but like I didn't have any sessions until later in the day. So I was like, guess what, bitch? This is my time.
You ain't pulling them fast ones on me, motherfucker.
Right? So long story short, I finally get a hold of them. And they can't find any of my loans. So I make a joke. I'm like, if you can't find my loans, I ain't paying you back.
Fucking
Like,
right. You fucking
right?
right.
So the guy goes ahead and he finally finds my loans, my accountant. He's like, oh, but only these are showing up. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Why are my undergrad loans not coming up? So he's like, oh, hold on. He puts me on hold, and all of a sudden his supervisor comes on the phone. And so we figure it out and we find all the loans and we figure out what I paid. So then she's like, well, unfortunately, it was rejected. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean it was rejected? You told me on the 30th that it was accepted.
Yeah, right.
Well, Donald Trump about 2 weeks ago put a freeze or a hold on the Department of Education so that they are not allowed to accept or process any independent driven repayment plans. Like they're all nothing. So the ones that were already processed and accepted are automatically rejected. And so their system automatically rejected it and came back saying with Donald Trump's plan is if without an IDR, you have to choose either a 10 or a 20-year payment, like a standardized repayment. I can't afford $821 a month.
Yeah.
Like that's out of my budget. So I was like, so what does this mean? And the guy was like, oh, he was like, nobody explained it to you. He's like, we're fighting back. So if you had an IDR and that it was either, in the process of being accepted, if it was accepted, well, all your loans are now on forbearance. And I was like, oh, okay. So keep in mind, I'm like, okay, this is cool. I know what forbearance means, right? So I was like, well, how long? And he's like, well, we're hoping Donald Trump said that it should be done by May 24th and that your repayment will start on June 4th, but we have to reprocess your application and we have to go through the whole payment plan again, like whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, so what happens if come May, he still hasn't figured this shit out? And the guy was like, well, we have to keep your loans in forbearance until we have a solution. So I was like, all right, cool. So I'm all for it. I'm like, hey, I don't have to pay anything for 2 months.
Right.
We're good. Right. So I immediately call my mom up and I'm like, hey, we got it all figured out. We're good. She's like, what happened? So I explained to her, I was like, well, long story short, my loans are in forbearance. And of course, my mom has me on speaker. My mom has no idea what forbearance means. So all of a sudden, she's yelling and screaming. And my dad heard me say, my loans are in forbearance until at least May. And my mom's like, why is the government fucking you over? Oh my God, this is bullshit. What the hell? What are they going to do to you? Are you going to go to jail?
Your mom just snapped. Your mom just was like, what the fuck is happening to my kids?
So like, my dad comes in and he's like, she's not gonna go to fucking jail. She's gonna pay her damn loans. And my mom's like, it's in forbearance. Did you hear that, Steve? Forbearance.
Like she knew what it meant. Like, don't you hear me?
And my dad's like, yes, Joan, I heard you. Do you know what forbearance means? It means she's not paying shit. And my mom's like, exactly. She don't pay her loan. She goes to jail. My baby's going to jail.
You wigged them the fuck out. It started with your mom, then your dad comes in and try to like, you know how dads are. He ain't calming shit down, but he's like, look, let me tell, like, nah, like she'll pay them, just not right now. They're gonna send her to jail. No, they're not. Like, and while all this is going on, you're probably on speakerphone going, well, this was fun.
Right? I'm just sitting there like, okay. And so my dad's sitting there and he's like, you know what, Jen? I don't got time for this. I don't got time. She's not going to fucking jail. And then he goes, you know what, Samantha? You explain it to her.
If I were you, I'd be like, I kind of already did. Like,
Right?
that's how we kind of got here, Pop. Like, what the fuck you want from me?
Like, and then I hear my dad storm out of the room, storm back in. He's Googling the word forbearance.
He took the extra step that was like, you know what? You handle it. Nah, hold the fuck up.
Right?
Look, this is what this shit means. Oh my
My
God.
dad goes, according to the Wikipedia dictionary, forbearance means. I was like, I really need to stop having phone calls. He's like,
You need to have him on fucking speakerphone
Right?
all the time. Like, um, dude, I got asked, like, it'd be crazy to have like our parents on the show.
Oh my
I was
god.
like, no, no, it wouldn't. Because, like, Sam's a licensed fucking therapist. I would just become one with my parents and be like, no, stop it. Enough. Hey, you two over there, forbearance, stir it up. Anyway, like, like, I would just be like, and then I would just keep looking at you on the fucking the episode going, we got to stop letting the viewers take control of this fucking show. Because I would need, like, a Xanax after all of it, be like, dude, what the fuck just happened?
Right? I
Like,
could see my mom being all excited. She's like engaging, and then my dad being like, "That's not, oh, Steve, that's not what she said."
oh my god. But I would lose my shit. Like, and last week when they asked me about, like, is my dad really like that? I wanted to be like, you want him on here? Like,
Right? You
anybody
want
want
to
him
see him?
on here? Because, like, I don't want him on here. I ain't trying to get canceled. Like the shit my dad says, I tell y'all because that's the shit he says.
Mhm.
Like he's an old school individual. But then sometimes he'll say something, we'll be in the middle of doing something, or we'll be out in public. I'll be like, Dad, like, don't do that shit.
Right?
Like, and then if I have him on something like this, he'll be like, Am I on am I on YouTube? Little
How
Gen
does
Z
this thing
sons of
work?
bitches. Yeah. So he'll hang up on himself and be like, God, well, there was my dad. My mom
Paul,
be,
Paul, I can't see what.
oh my god, with the phone in his face. What am I supposed to do? Wait, I can't hear you.
I can't.
Hold on. I'm good. Wait. Yeah, and then my mom would be like, "Don't have me on camera with this angle. It needs to be this angle." And
Get my good side.
I'd be like, you know what? That's going to be the end of the show for this week.
My mom would come on there and she'd be like, "Oh, really?" And she'd be talking to you, and then she'd be like distracted with her TV, and then the dog and the cat.
Right? I'd be just sitting there like, why are we shooting this shit? I'd be like, this is the quickest episode of the show I've ever had in my life. What was it? 7 minutes and 19 seconds?
Right?
I mean, I think me and Sam went longer than that. You know, thank God we went. I expected us to be done in like two. Like, plus, it would take them forever to log in and get the link. They'd be like,
Right?
wait, my dad would be calling me as a recording, be like, no, how do I get on here? I'd be like,
Yes.
I'd be like, I'd be like,
My mom would be, but I'm pressing the button, Sam.
that'd be my mom. I'm trying to get in here, but I can't get in here. Wait, I have to put a name in here. Like, do I put in here like your your name, my name, Darlene, mom? I'd be like,
Right?
wait, it's not love. I can't hear nobody. I can't hear nobody. You're all talking at the same time.
My mother would be like, I can't hear you. Where's the volume?
I'd be like, Mom, you do team meetings all the time. Like, you'd be fine. No, this is different. What the fuck you mean it's different? Wouldn't
That's like my mom when I'm like, we'll do a video chat. What's a video? We're doing a video chat, Mom. No. What's a video chat? Is that like Zoom?
why yes, mother. It is like Zoom. What do you know? Like the one time with my dad, I FaceTimed my sister because I needed to talk to him, but I was like, I just needed to see him to know his expression.
Mhm.
Oh my god. Like I like FaceTiming or video talking to my dad is fucking epic. Because so I FaceTime my sister Darian and I'm telling her what's going on. I was like, hey, can you turn me to dad real quick? She's like, yeah, sure. He's like, what do you want? What the fuck you mean? What do I want? Like I'm asking. I didn't even get a chance to ask you the question. Why are you looking for me? I'm literally right here. Like, and then I'm asking him something. He's like, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he was like, he's looking at the background of my house and was like, we need to fix that spot over there with the paint. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I was asking you a question about like something for like Xander's room or something. He was like, oh, well, you could just call me on the phone. We ain't got to do this shit. I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'm talking to my sister, and then I was going to talk to you. Oh, just call me. Call me. I'll answer. And then I was like, yeah, okay. And then I call him. What do you want? The same fucking thing I was trying to talk to you on the video call. Like, oh my
Have you
god.
ever used video chat to try to like solve a problem for them, like in their house? Like for an example, I know my dad like was having trouble with like the TV, right? He couldn't figure out how to get Hulu on his TV. Okay, he's got a Roku, and I was like trying to teach, and he was like, "Well, no, I don't understand what you're saying," because it was over the phone. So I was like, "All right, let me video chat you, and I can walk you through it, so I can see what you're doing." And then all of a sudden, he video chats, and it's right on me, and I'm like, "No, no, no, you gotta flip it." So he's like trying to flip the phone. He's like, "Can you see it now?" And I'm like, "Oh my god."
You're like, I can, Dad, but like it's the whole bottom half and like the entertainment. I don't know what's happening here. I've never did it with my dad. I've done it with my mom.
Mhm.
And you would think my dad would be more of the tech savvy kind of guy because my
Yeah.
dad uh, used to work on computers and shit like that. No, Darlene has a better grasp of it because she'll sit there and we'll talk about something. She'll be like, "No, I can't get this to work. Like I don't know what's happening. I'm pushing this button. I'm pushing this button." And she's like, "And nothing's happening. Here, look." And then she was like, "Wait, hold on." And then she would always wait, hold on, and then she's like, and then it flips, and I'm like, "Oh, no, there it is, there it is. All right, cool." And then she'll be like, she always will tell me the problem. And then she flips the camera and be like, do you see it? No,
Oh.
no, I don't. No, I don't. Because I don't know fully what the problem is. So it's like,
Right.
but no, like, no, Kevin can't get his PlayStation to do blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, let me FaceTime, let me like video chat Kevin. Oh, no, no. Because then he needs his phone. I was like, oh, for God's sakes. Like, I'll just sit there and be like, it gets to the point where I'll be like, can he hold off till Saturday? Like, I'll be there.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Fucking great. Absolutely. Because walking it through them with them, oh my God. Like when I was doing things at the house with my dad, and then I would say, like, oh, we like, when I was telling him about like my drip with my windows. What do you mean? What's it sound like? It sounds like a fucking drip. What do you mean? What does it sound like? Well, send me a video. Well, I can call you with a video now. That's too much. I'm at work. All right. All right. That drip's fixable. Yeah, it's a video and it was slowing down the rain. Like what do you do? Excuse me. If I would have just called you, if I would have video chatted with you like 10 minutes before that when I said we should, you'd see how it's dripping.
Right.
What do you mean it's fixable? Like I'm seeing it's like the burbs in here and it's fucking leaking. Like, but no, no, no. Because by this time, it's the problem's already fucking over. I
Hmm.
already know what to do now. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I can't because he's one of the people that hates when people call him.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine how he is when people video call him. I don't got time for this fucking shit. Like I'm fucking doing something. I got something to do. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, Xander wanted to say goodnight, and or something like that. I'm like, oh, yeah, put him on. How does the whole mood change when your grandson's like, hey, He's like, "Hey, buddy, how's it going?" I was like, "But I'm fucking busy."
Right? Like if
What?
I call my dad, he's like pretty much the same way. He'd be like, "What do you want?" Oh, I don't know,
Yes,
to make sure you're alive, see how you're
yeah.
doing.
Or if I call my dad, he'll be like, "Yeah, what?" Like,
Right?
and like I've been like, especially like with him being the last sibling left and alive, I keep checking on my dad, like just,
Hmm.
hey, what's going on, whatever. But I'll call him and he'll all of a sudden, yeah, or what do you want? Yes. What? And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
dang, how about just, hey, Paul, how's it going? Or
Yeah.
hello, my son, like some shit like that. I call my mother, different scenario. Hi,
Big
son,
time.
what's going on?
Hmm.
Shit like that. My dad's like, what? What do you
Yep.
need? I'm like,
I
I,
can call my mom like 3, 4, 5 times a day, and each time she'll still answer as if it's like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" Like she doesn't seem annoyed. She doesn't get angry. She was like, "Oh, really?" Like, and then she'd be like, "Are you driving home?" And if I'm like, "Yeah, I'm driving home," she'll be like, "Okay, well, I'll make sure to stay on the phone with you until you make it home."
right? Or if I sit there and like in the morning, because like when I'm up in the morning and if I'm either going in to work the weeks I don't have Xander a little bit later, or the weeks Xander and I are going to the bus stop, I know sometimes he wants to hear Nunny. So
Hmm.
he'll want to talk to my mom. And it's short, I mean, it's short shit. It's very short lived. But like, I'll talk to my mom on the way into work, or I'll talk to her till we get to his bus stop. And
Yeah,
then, you know, but then my mom is notorious for, I'll call you back.
and not calling you back. That's my mom.
Nothing. Or, hey, let me call you right back. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. I do it all
Uh,
the time. Okay. And it got to the point where my dad literally just did it to me yesterday. My dad doesn't do it at all. But he was like, hey, do you have Xander this week? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm actually on my way to go pick him up from the bus stop. He's like, oh, okay, cool. Because they're doing some renovations to like his top parking lot. And I was talking to him about it. And he's like, I'll call you back. I'm at work. I'm like, all right. I still haven't heard from my dad. So I'm like, did he make it? Is he alive? I don't know. So like, hey, dad, if you watch this, which I doubt it, or like my sister or brothers, is tell him to call somebody back.
right?
Like, oh my God. Like, oh Jesus. But there is no way I would have my parents on this fucking show.
No, none.
No way. But um well, I hope I see everybody on Saturday. Um, that'll wrap it up for us. Um, we're just gonna see how the fuck Saturday goes. That's it. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. um, we'll be down there between like 1 and 2. If you see us, feel free to come up to us. Everybody. It's gonna be a great time. So I can't wait till next week to tell you what the fuck happened. So
Right.
till next week, of course, for Samantha and myself, we will see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.